You got the over. You got the dig. Hey, I got the side of Jeff, so don't worry about it.
Okay. I cannot counter, I cannot top anything you just spilled out there because it's all so painfully true. And you speak from real, live, Hall of Fame experience. And I appreciate that it's on this show as a huge part of this show. You're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You did your homework last night on his homework clause. And here we sit. I told you 24 hours ago, sitting in this seat, it sure seems to me that Arizona did this deal with clenched teeth.
Yes.
That's what I said, with clenched teeth, because they did. They were damned if they did and damned if they didn't. They were stuck. They were backed into a corner, and they finally said, we have no other way out of this. We got to do it.
Yes.
We got to give him the going rate.
Yes.
There have been several stories that said that the guaranteed money isn't exactly what it appears to be. It was reported at 160. It's 105. It's the true guaranteed.
Hey, that's what he got at the time of signing.
Okay, fine. But it's still a ton of money for a still very young quarterback who has had success in this league. His numbers have gone up each of 3 years. He did win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Correct.
And he made 2 straight Pro Bowls, even though we both agreed Matt Stafford came on with the rush and should have nipped him at the finish line, but he did not.
Yes.
Kyler made the Pro Bowl last year. And they had 2 all-time great starts and 2 fall-on-your-face finishes, back-to-back years, that are just hard to reconcile because I want so badly to love this young man because I loved him coming out in the draft. I said for sure he should be the no doubt slam dunk first overall pick, and he was. Last year they even started 10-2. They finished 1-4. The year before they got off to that great start and finished 3-6. And to your point, he either gets banged up or the league catches up. One of those two things are operating probably both in concert.
Right. And he might be getting banged up because the league caught up and he don't know what the hell he's supposed to be doing.
Okay. And you read the quotes. These were his quotes to the New York Times in the middle of the football season last year.
Yeah.
And I'll read one more quote from it. I don't sit there for 24 hours and break down this team and that team and watch every game because in my head I see so much. I don't completely condemn that. I don't write it off because I do think he's gifted with great vision and he can see it and feel it. But in this league, at this level, as you well know, the tiniest edge will either get you beaten or get you over the edge.
Correct.
Into a playoff win. He played in his first playoff game last year, and he stunk in that playoff game because the Rams had caught up.
Yes.
And they obliterated him and them.
Yes.
It was a complete and utter wipeout. Obviously, the Rams are on their way to winning it all. But now I'm going to go a cut deeper, and I'm going to address an issue that has been dear to my heart since 1977 when I spent a week with a young man in Grambling State, Grambling, Louisiana, named Doug Williams, who was on his way to becoming the first black quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl for the Washington Redskins, at the time Redskins.
Yep.
And as I told you in researching a piece I wrote for the LA Times in 1977, I called a prominent general manager because I thought Doug Williams would go #1 overall in the draft because he just looked like prototype here NFL.
Right.
He's ready for you. He was like 6'5".
Yeah, he's like 6'4 and a half, 240. Yeah. And he was prototypical. He was a drop back quarterback. Wasn't no scrambling.
Pure drop back with not a good arm. I'm talking about a bazooka.
Yes.
And I called the prominent GM who told me, and I'm just going to sort of paraphrase the quote, no, we don't have him rated very high. He doesn't have the mental capabilities to play in our league. And it was an indictment. I took it as all black quarterback. They just don't have the mental capability to play at this level. So here we sit in 2022, and black quarterbacks in this league have had a whole lot of success.
Yes.
And it has done my heart good because every year I see more and more success and more acceptance.
Right.
And now I'm going to hand the ball back to you because I don't love the message that this clause is sending to a black quarterback and about black quarterbacks in general. Please enlighten me.
Well, I think the thing is, and you touch on a point, for the longest time, they said blacks could not play that position because they could not process information fast enough. They couldn't think on their feet. And that wasn't the case. Maybe the case was they weren't studying. Kyler Murray just gave credence to a long history of belief that black quarterbacks, black people in general, are lazy. Skip, you play the quarterback position. You must absolutely know the most. Most quarterbacks, after they've been in the league for a while, they keep notebooks on certain defensive coordinators, just in case he becomes a head coach somewhere. Okay, I played him when he's a DC. This is the way he approached it. Peyton Manning has books. Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees kept notebooks. I believe most quarterbacks, as you start to age, because Skip, most of the time DCs, if they're any good, they're going to become a head coach, and they're going to go somewhere else, and you're probably going to face them again. So it gives you a head start. What Kyler Murray did was just say, see, told y'all.
Yeah.
Told you. That's a lazy way of thinking. It really is. It should be unique to Kyler. But Kyler, you know, I'm sure your parents and your grandparents have told you, you got to go twice as far just to get half as far. They told you that. Still yet, what did you go do? You get this golden opportunity, and you didn't prep. So a team had to Skip. And I kept saying, well, damn, if Deshaun can get $230 million with what's circulating on around him, why the hell Kyler ain't get 230? Oh, now it became abundantly clear. I guarantee you Joe Burrow's going to get 230 plus, guaranteed. Yep. I guarantee you Justin Herbert's going to get 230 plus, fully guaranteed. Because this joker thought he was smarter than the system. And little did he know there's a little mechanism in that tablet that he takes home. And they know. Did you just cut that tablet on and just no rewinds, no nothing? Just set it down and started playing video games or started watching TV or chewing the fat with your homeboys? Or were you actually studying? The mere fact that they got to put that in your contract. Yeah. Skip, you know, sometimes when you guys are, if you get in trouble, we avoid the contract. You do this, you miss meetings, you do that. Okay, clearly there's a red flag there. Clearly you've done this so many times. For them to have a clause and say, we can void your contract if you don't do 4 extra hours outside of what we give you here in the building?
Void it.
Wow, Kyler, you got to be some kind of dum-dum to put yourself in this position. First of all, it just goes to show you, I don't know, I'm sorry. I could have put that in there because it's going to make me look bad. It makes your agent look even worse because they put that in there.
Well, they
allowed it.
They had to sign off on it.
Yeah, the union had to, but hell, the Players Association had to sign up on it. The union have to sign up on it. All contracts before they're good to go, the union has to sign up on it. So the union signed up on it. Boy, this is embarrassing for a man of this kind. Skip, so what happens? You got no study habits. Your athleticism starts to wane. Peyton Manning was out there with one arm, could never run. He got by with this. Tom Brady's never had legs. Ran the ugliest, slowest 40 ever run by a quarterback.
He did.
And he's getting by there with guile. He can still throw the football, but he's not reliant on athletic ability. No. And a lot of times these guys can hang around a lot longer if they're not non-reliant on athleticism. Well, this man is reliant on athleticism, so when his athleticism go and his study habits, he gone quick.
Yeah. Okay, back to the black quarterback issue. The reason I'm outraged, sickened, and ultimately concerned. So I look at the hierarchy of the Arizona Cardinals, and they have black men in these positions of player personnel, pro personnel,